All right, so let's get into what are we going to talk about first. Let's get into this first video that I saw from Joe Rogan.
Out there's a lot of people that don't speak their mind.
Somebody
do you know how many
artists
that have reached out to me that are like fucking hippies, man? Like artists, like musicians, comedians that thanked me for endorsing Trump because they can't do it. They said they want to, but they don't want to be attacked. They can't say it. They think the country's going in the wrong direction. They think that this control of social media by the government, which we would have had pretty much fully if it wasn't for Elon buying Twitter.
How do y'all feel about the first part of what he said as far as with celebrities reaching out to him and pretty much thanking him for doing what they're too scared or cowardly to do? How do y'all feel about that? To me, that says a lot. It says a lot about, I mean, it's pretty much you're getting bullied. And I have a little bit less sympathy for people that are getting bullied that are celebrities, because it's not like you're being bullied from a position where you don't have any strength. You're choosing not to exercise your strength. You're choosing not to stand on whatever it is that you stand on. If you believe that strongly about it. If you don't believe strongly about it, then it's cool. But if you're going to reach out to me to do something that you're too scared to do, that you have the ability to do, that's a problem for me. And the reason why I'm called, maybe I have a little bit of personal passion with that, because there's been plenty of things that I've spoken on in the past that have been controversial and that people have reached out to me behind the scenes saying like, hey man, appreciate you saying that. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you're in the same position as me or better. Why aren't you speaking out on it? If you agree with it, why aren't you, damn, at least give a retweet, something, give a repost. Matter of fact, there's people that I've spoken to similar. I actually mentioned a story on the last show. If y'all peeped it, I'm not going to get into too much detail on it, but there's people that are in way higher positions than me. Use your voice. Use your voice. Instead, you just want to sit back and kind of just see how things play out and hope things from afar, but never actually get into the mix. Get involved. What is the point of having influence? What is the point of having power if you're not going to use it for the greater good of people, or what you believe is the greater good? To at least create platforms, to at least create discussions around them so you can better inform yourselves and inform others. The sidelines, I don't know. Some people, I guess, are just built for the sidelines. I'm not.
That this is a dangerous precedent to set, whether it's a right-wing government or a left-wing government. And that what you see that's happening in the UK, where people are being imprisoned for tweets and Facebook posts.
In the UK is the part that's mind-bending about it.
Mind-bending.
Wait, what? Were y'all aware of this?
That this is a dangerous precedent
in the
UK, whether it's a right-wing government or a left-wing government. And that what you see that's happening in the UK, where people are being imprisoned for tweets and Facebook posts.
In the UK is the part that's mind-bending about it.
Mind-bending. The whole thing is nuts, and it's a dangerous path that we were on. We were on that path. Trump has vowed to have free speech become a very important part of what he's standing for.
That's insane to be locking people up, because what's right and what's wrong? If it's not violating, I can understand if you're threatening somebody's life. I can understand that. But for giving an opinion on something that's not threatening somebody's life, to me, that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's when we go back to the censorship and the free speech, something that was never brought up in the election. And shout out to Uncle Brother. Uncle Brother, I actually saw that. I saw that video as well. Matter of fact, if you got the link up, send it to me, because I think I actually reposted it on OG Network. But going back to the censorship aspect of things, one of the things in the election that I thought was going to be a huge deal that wasn't, was when Mark Zuckerberg put out the letter saying that the Biden and Harris administration were reaching out to his Meta platforms and telling them to censor certain things during 2020 that wasn't aligned with the agenda that they were pushing. With the big 2020 issue, 2021, we know what happened, right? We all know what happened. The C word that we need to say with the jabs. Yeah. the Biden-Harris administration got called out by Mark Zuckerberg for censoring information. We're talking about information from doctors, specialists that work in these fields. They were silenced because the things that they were speaking on did not align with the things that the Biden-Harris administration was trying to push. They were trying to push everybody to get the jab, right? But then when things came out, or when doctors were giving their opinions, they were being censored. And when Mark Zuckerberg came out and said this, to me, I'm like, yo, I thought it was a huge thing, because we clearly, and what's so funny about it is, there's a large population of people that believe that the government is lying to us, or that do not trust the government. Now, it's funny because I guess when there's a Democratic administration, a lot of these same people who say, oh, the government, America's white supremacy, and the government's after us, a lot of these same people, I guess, just kind of sat back and just were okay with it when the censorship is coming from a place that they deem favorable for how they see the world. But then when it's on the other end, oh, it's like the worst thing in the world. People should be allowed to voice their opinions. Matter of fact, when you think about social media platforms, that is where the majority of us are getting our information from. We can't trust these mainstream media outlets. Why do we think they're losing such viewership? Why do we think that a lot of what I'm hearing is that a lot of these news, there's going to be a lot of layoffs from a lot of these people? You're lying and your ratings suck. So you're lying, so you're hurting the brand and credibility of whatever mainstream platform you're on, and you're also not getting the viewership. So what is the point of having you on there? Let's keep going.
And that this censoring of information needs to stop, and that we need to stop all government influence in what people have to say.
Yeah, look,
that alone.
That shouldn't be as revolutionary as it is.
I know, it should be a core tenet of what, I mean, it's essentially the First Amendment.
You know, and
all right, so we're gonna move on from that. However you feel about it, you feel about it. But going back to the original point that Joe Rogan was making, it is a problem for me when people are too scared. Like, what does that say? When people are too scared to voice their opinions, they're scared about the culture that the Democrats were creating. That's what Joe Rogan was saying. People reaching out to him because they're scared of the culture that the Democrats are creating. But this fear that they have, they don't want to compromise, I guess, their money, or compromise their brand, or compromise their fans. So therefore, they'd rather just sit on the sidelines and not say anything. Very cowardly, very cowardly. And when we sit back and wonder, and I always bring up this example because it's the biggest one, when we sit back and wonder how slavery could have happened, when we're sitting here like, damn, how could everybody in the country just have, been okay with slavery? It's not that everybody was okay with slavery. Or actually, it was that they were okay with slavery. It's not that they thought slavery was the right thing, but they just sat back and didn't say anything, because the majority of people are cowards when it comes to risking anything significant in their lives. People aren't going to risk their well-being to go help out their neighbor, their brother, their sister. It's just not a thing that we can expect. That's why we got to be willing to stand on things ourselves, because we can't just rely on other people to do it for us. So let's move on to the next one. What do we got? We're actually, Uncle Brother, we're actually going to get to your topic. I believe we have a video that discusses Kamala Harris's campaign apparently being in debt. This is my dog, Robbie. Hold on. Let me get the video shared. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it. All right. Bear with me a little bit today. Obviously, I'm in the car, so no excuses, though. No excuses. What am I talking about? Making all these excuses. I sound like a liberal. All right, let's move on to the next topic. So Uncle Brother wrote, so apparently Kamala's campaign is in debt from paying for all those celebrity endorsements. Candace shared that Beyonce got $55,000 per second. Beyonce made $55,000 per second. That's like Floyd Mayweather money for risking his life boxing. I think that's even more than Floyd was making per second. I don't know. Floyd got some crazy checks, but So $55,000 per second, $10 million for that intro. She gave a damn intro. I believe she spoke for what, 2, 3, 4 minutes at a rally and got $10 million. And how do y'all even feel about that? Like, and you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of, and this is specifically for Black people. I'm tired of Black people picking and choosing who we give the benefit of doubt to. And I'm tired of America doing it actually overall as well. Because it's the same thing when I think about Beyonce getting 10 million, immediately my disdain, or I don't know if disdain's the right word, but I really just can't stand Jay-Z sometimes. I can't stand him. And because I just think that he's the type of person that will sell out his people just for putting another dollar in his pocket. And it's so funny that we hate Trump, right? For a lot of the things that, hold on, I need y'all to see me. I need y'all to feel me on this one. For a lot of the reasons that we hate Trump will do anything. He'll step on his mother's neck, to get a dollar. I think I've even said something like that. When people say that he's racist, when people said Trump was racist years ago, I'm like, or when I finally thought that, I was like, I don't think Trump's racist. I just think that he'll do anything to make a deal. Maybe now I don't even think that, but that was my process or journey to where I am now. But when I sit back and think about how people look at Trump, look at Jay-Z. Has anybody sold out their people more than Jay-Z? When Jay-Z was up there on the Barclays trying to convince people that the Barclays was a good project, even though it was tearing down all the housing for people in Brooklyn, even though Jay-Z on his 4/4 album, he talks about the ills of gentrification, but then he's used as a pawn for the Barclays, because here we are thinking that Jay-Z is one of the main owners, and then you find out he got 1% of 1%. And that he was just the face being used to allow and for Brooklyn to be okay with this thing that was going to destroy a lot of the housing in the neighborhood. So here you have Jay-Z with that. You got Jay-Z then with Kaepernick, right? Jay-Z goes on, I believe it was Saturday Night Live. He's wearing his black Kaepernick jersey. And then he says, yeah, man, we're boycotting the Super Bowl for Kaepernick, right? And then a year later, or less than a year later, he sits down with Roger Goodell in the NFL without even talking to Colin Kaepernick and makes a deal with the NFL to control their entertainment without even talking to Colin Kaepernick's camp. Talking about we're past kneeling. Jay-Z, when did you take a knee? What did you risk? You were just telling all of us to boycott the Super Bowl. Now, I guess when you sign a deal that's lucrative financially for you, now it's okay for us to get back involved with the NFL. Next thing that Jay-Z did, what else did Jay-Z do? Shoot, he just did something recently, but we give him the benefit of doubt for that, right? We give him the benefit of doubt for everything. And now we got Beyonce, who we're going to give the benefit of doubt because we're all beehive and the bee. How are you know damn well if Trump paid a celebrity that you did not like as much as Jay-Z or Beyonce $10 million to endorse them, we would be throwing fits. But it's okay when it's okay when our Democrats do it. What did Pixie Dustin? What's up, Pixie Dustin? Trump's a businessman and the country should be ran as such. I agree. He's a CEO. We just hired him as CEO of the country. That's exactly what it should be ran as. Exactly. So I agree with you. All right, let's keep going. And what I'm saying is I believe Trump is a businessman. I believe Jay-Z is a snakish business person. That's just my opinion. I believe he's a snake. I'm a Dame Dash guy, so maybe that factors into my bias with it, but I believe he's a snake, man. Let's keep going.
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.